Encourage podcast.
I know faking it gets exhausting. Here, we keep it real. Hey guys, what's good? And welcome back to another episode of the Curls Encourage podcast. I'm your host, Kinsley Meeks, wellness entrepreneur, fitness coach, bikini bodybuilder, and digital creator, here to inspire you to live boldly and unlock your highest physical and mental potential. Hope you guys are doing well, feeling all the vibes, making boss moves, of course. I am super excited for today's show because I have an amazing guest on today. My girl, Jodie, is with me today, and I can promise you guys she's about to boost my vibe and also boost yours, bringing some true wisdom, some passion, and some inspiration to the show today. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching if you are on the YouTube channel. I want to start by saying Jodie and I have been friends for a couple of years now, and she is truly someone I look up to. Jodie is a two-time Bikini Olympian, online prep and transformation coach, a creator, an entrepreneur, but more than all of that, she's probably the realest person I've ever met in Miami, to be honest. One of my only true friends. She is an Olympian, but the impact that she makes on others and the way that she genuinely cares about people is what I feel like inspires me the most. Just a few months ago, most of you guys know about my car saga, okay? It's been so many problems with my car. And I ended up a while ago not being able to drive my car for over 2 weeks. It was in the shop getting some work done, and Jodie literally let me borrow her car for that amount of time. And, that just meant a lot to me. It showed me, hey, this is a real one. So I knew damn, my girl, she's a real level of genuine. So Jodie, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, she was skirt.
You already know the vibes. I was whipping the Jeep, and she said too, she was like, girl, this is our car. It's not even just yours, it's ours. And I'm like, okay, babe.
That's right.
Thank you so much. So
Zoom
Jodie,
around all you want.
We was whipping the Cherokee, but it's a blessing to have you on this show. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So first thing I want to hop into is, before all of the titles and accomplishments that you have had, what originally drew you to bodybuilding, being the competitor that you are, and how do you feel like you've evolved within the sport?
Yeah, so originally I did not know one single thing about bodybuilding. I didn't even know a thing about lifting a weight. My first step into the gym, I could barely even lift a 5-pound dumbbell. And I kid you not, I tried to get under the bar and squat that.
Wait, and what age was this? Take me back.
This was age 23.
Okay.
Yes. So let's go back a little bit further from that. From the age of 12 to about 21, 22, I struggled with the eating disorder.
Okay.
So I had anorexia as well as orthorexia. So a lot of people don't know what orthorexia is, but it's where you're so fixated on food that I wouldn't even eat the same color of food in the same day. So let's say I had an orange for breakfast. I wouldn't even have a effing carrot for lunch because it was the same color. Even though they're both healthy, it was off market.
Gosh, that's crazy.
So I turned absolutely one extreme that almost took my life, and my parents basically gave me the ultimatum of, figure out how you can recover from this deadly illness, or, I hate to say it to you, I was going to go inpatient. And me being that deep into my eating disorder, I already knew that if I went inpatient, I'd be on bed rest, I'd be fed through a feeding tube, and I would just literally hate my life to the max. Because when you have an eating disorder, everybody around you is saying things. They're saying, oh, just eat this, go get that burger, go get this fry,
100%.
eat. I understand that, but it's more than just eating. It's more of that mental aspect and what other people are portraying outside of you.
Yeah, it's almost like Jodie and I have not actually, I don't think we've talked about this outside of the podcast, but I actually struggle with an eating disorder as well. And mine was just more anorexia. I actually was not familiar with that term as well. That is crazy, not being able to eat the same thing, same color in one day. But I remember with me too, it got to the point, and you can probably relate to where my parents were the same way. I'm extremely I look like I'm from the Holocaust. I am tiny. No, for real. You know the vibes.
Yeah.
And I remember one morning for breakfast, my mom, she had cooked me a turkey sausage link. And I'm like, I'm not eating breakfast. She's like, if you do not eat this turkey sausage link, you're not going to go to school. You're not going to, I was trying to go to homecoming and that type of thing at the time that I really wanted to go to. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm stressing it. I'm like, if I eat this turkey sausage link, this is the only thing I'm eating for that entire day. If you want me to eat it, I'll eat it, but that's the only thing that I'm eating. And getting to that point is so scary. So That's amazing that you've been able to overcome that, because I do know what it's like. Talk to me a little bit more about like how, I know you said your parents, they were pushing you, you knew that you had to change, but what like clicked in your mind where you were like, okay, this is it. Like I have to change because this is not working for me anymore.
It was when, and I mean, they sat me down numerous times to talk to me about what was going on, what was my thought process behind this. Do I not see what I look like in the mirror? And I saw myself, but I didn't see myself as bad as what everybody else saw me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the age of 12 to about 23 years old, wearing a 000 pant and it literally falling off of me. And I remember my parents just sitting me down at the table and looking me dead in the eye. Like I had the most frightening look from them coming upon me. And they said, Jay, you either change what you're doing right now or you're going to die.
Gosh.
And that right there just like sparked something in my mind, being like, wow, I'm not only killing myself, I'm hurting you guys.
Yeah.
You guys have went through this for the past 12 years trying to save me, but it's only up to me to change.
Yeah.
So I had to take that first step forwards and say, I got this. Please don't question what I'm doing, why I'm weighing my food out, why I'm going to the gym, why I literally just stopped cold turkey running 12 to 20 miles every single day.
Girl, you were so similar to me. I'd be out there hitting that like 15 miles a day and eating like 3 almonds. And I'm like, this will probably cut it.
Right.
Like,
I'm like, one bite of apple is going to be
like,
great.
That's sustainable.
Yeah,
I know. Like, that's crazy how you mentally go through that. So you feel like, you went through this eating disorder, and bodybuilding, like to some extent, like kind of saved you in that way, like measuring out your food, getting to the gym, starting the new passion.
The new passion. Yes. Yeah. So I took one extreme. And I know people do say bodybuilding is an extreme.
Yeah.
It's an extreme to a point. Yes, I weigh my food. Yes, I train. Like that's my non-negotiable. That's what brings me happiness. If I didn't have that, I kid you not, I'd probably be 12 feet underground right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And that's what kind of went drew you into bodybuilding. Having that eating disorder too, though, I want to know a little bit more about like the mindset behind that. Obviously that helps you as an athlete. It helps you find your passion for bodybuilding, get into it, go from one extreme to bodybuilding is still an extreme, but it is like, no lie, but it's a healthier extreme. You can't compare that to running 15 miles a day and eating 3 almonds. Like you're measuring out your food, but you have structured training, you have structured cardio. Like it's what you're doing, but you have the mentality around it that's more healthy, yes, I would say.
And it's more sustainable.
More sustainable. Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
So, I'm not sitting there huffing and puffing and like, oh my gosh, what am I going to eat for my next meal? Like stressing out about that.
That you're eating.
It's structured. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did having that eating disorder, like I said, not impact you as just an athlete, but also as a person? Like what did that change in your mindset? And I feel like a lot of the things we go through at the time, we're like, okay, this is so bad. Like, why am I going through this? This is only negatives, but something positive usually comes out of it. What do you feel like came out of it for you?
For me, it was living my passion,
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. When I first started that recovery journey, I was going to school to be an RN. Kid you not, I hate school. I hate studying.
Facts.
Like,
Same.
Don't put a book in front of me and say, read this book and let's learn. No, give me a hands-on. Let me do that. I'm like that energized bunny where I'm like on the go all the time. Like, let's figure out what that new thing is. Let's learn about it. Let's execute it. Let's put it into place. So for me, it was all about structure, but also wanting to learn. And then literally I went to school for that. I went to school then. I got my hospitality management degree. For me, it was like, oh, I'm going to go work with the movie stars, do the red carpet awards.
Okay.
But then it sort of all ties in together. Because being a 2-time Bikini Olympian, I'm not working with the high-end, movie stars doing the red carpet awards. But I just went and got on the Olympia stage 2 times, and I'm working to get there for my 3rd time.
That's insane. And for those of you who don't know too, I want y'all to know the Olympia is basically like the highest level of bodybuilding that you can get to. So even competing in that type of like realm is absolutely insane. That's why, a big reason why I look up to you as well. Talk to me more about like competition prep. What is the hardest prep you've gone through? Actually, what's the hardest prep that you've had?
I'll be honest. My hardest prep was my very, very first prep, and it was just for my first show.
Really?
After that, every single prep, it's honestly been smooth sailing. But the reason why it's been smooth sailing is because 1, I make sure all my labs are in check, so all my health markers are good. But 2, I don't take it as off season. And that's one term that I preach to my clients that, it's not off season, it's improvement season. If we're in off season, to me, that terminology is like
Like,
throw
we don't
everything out
care.
the window.
We're
We don't
eating
care.
whatever we want.
We're going to eat the burger, the fry, the cookies, train when I want to. You can have that during an improvement season, but it's all about moderation and mindfulness.
Yeah.
So as long as you're sitting there saying, okay, I'm still structuring my training. I'm having one mindful meal a week, not a free meal veg for all.
Right.
Like,
I'm going to just eat whatever I want all the time. That's not
It's not like a 5,000
bodybuilding is like a year. It's a year-round sport for sure. And I think it makes it a lot easier too when you have a passion for it. Like, you love to lift, you like to be healthy, you want to treat your body like a temple at the end of the day. So it's like, why not live the lifestyle 24/7,
Yes, because I spent so many years, I'm going to say, destroying my body, that now I like to show people that, hey, you can live a healthy, balanced life, get your dream physique that you want, and sustain it.
Okay, so kind of staying on that topic, how do you maintain a healthy lifestyle with everything that you do? Because this girl, I do the same thing. She's measuring out her food. She's training like an animal, literally, in the gym every single day, going crazy, doing steps, doing cardio, drinking specific amount of water, taking supplementation. Not even that, but just monitoring her recovery, getting blood work done, running a full-time business, but also like bodybuilding, like I said, it is a commitment. It is a commitment. It's a lot of sacrifice that you make as an athlete. How do you maintain? And when I say healthy lifestyle, I mean your relationships, your business, your social life. How do you do all that with bodybuilding?
I will say I want to say I'm one of a kind, because I'm a little crazy with this.
Yeah.
You can even ask my clients. Like, they're like, Jay, I told you that like 5 years ago when I started working with you. How do you remember that? And I'm like, because I invest in you guys like you invest in me. So I want to not only just treat them as a client, but they're like family to me. So for me, yes, I do sort of have my business hours. I like to usually keep it during the week, but my clients know, like, they can contact me 24/7. I will be there. I will answer as quickly as possible. But I am getting a little bit better with those boundaries. But for me, it's all about like, okay, I go to bed at a certain time. I wake up at a certain time. This is when I start my check-in process. So my clients know, get them over by 9 a.m. in the morning. I do all of that, try to get all my client check-ins done before then I focus on myself. So that's cardio, that is, training. And then at the end of the night, I just wrap up whatever work is done that needs to be finished for the day, watch some TV, hang out with some friends, and then just call it a day. So for me, people probably say I don't have much balance because I am a workhorse, but that's what I enjoyed. That is my passion. I want to make as many life-changing impacts as possible. And that is me showing up for my clients every day.
Of course. Yeah. So it doesn't feel as much like work to you. And then I think it's also, like you said, having a little bit of structure. Like, I'm the type of person, maybe I'm a little bit less structured than you. Like, I like to, I'm very free spirited. However, like, same way, you got to have some routine and some structure to be able to actually see results and to be able to live a healthy lifestyle as well. So you got to learn how to set boundaries. And how do you do that? How do you set boundaries? What'd you say?
So I'm
Because I know you're working on it, but it's hard. I know my listeners want to know. I want to know. I'm the same way. How do you turn your brain off? How do you set those boundaries as me time?
Oh God, that is a hard one. But I will say, like, for boundary wise, people, like friends that you're hanging out with, family that you're hanging out with, they're going to support you no matter what. If they see that you're working, they're going to honor that. And they're going to realize, like, your passion for it. I live that balanced lifestyle, I'll go to the club. I'll go to, dinner and all of that.
She'll be turning up, I'm telling you. Sometimes it's rare on the weekends. I'm like, that girl getting there. I'm telling you. They got to wrap her up. That she going to be there.
She going to be there. I mean, I might be white, but I'll be getting down all that.
She will. She like to dance. She be getting it. So, yeah, you maintain that
yes,
lifestyle.
I maintain that. And that's one thing that, a lot of people, I will say, need to work on is finding that balance. Yes, I'll be real. I barely eat out. I usually will eat before I go or take my meals with me. That's just me because that's what makes me feel good. But I still have that balance of like, hey, yep, I'm still going to go out. But I know that next day, I'll be sleeping in a little bit later. So I make sure to not schedule anything until the afternoon.
Yeah, just being smart, planning ahead and having structure, I think is so important. Talk to me about your major goals, what you're doing in the sport right now with bodybuilding. What are your plans for this season?
So my plans for this season is we are starting off with Miami Muscles. So we are back in action. We started prep about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have a lot of clients, about 26 clients that will be competing this season. I would say about 10 of them are making their debut to the stage this year. So we've been working on just improving, specifically, their glutes. And most importantly,
gotta grow the glutes.
Yes, most importantly, the confidence. A lot of people start this sport, they don't believe in themselves. They don't see where their end goal is at. But when we set those smaller goals, they see it come to life, and they're like, oh, wow, like you inspire me. You built that confidence in me to get where I'm at going now. So starting off with Miami Muscle, from there, we have about 6 other shows planned out.
6 shows? That's crazy.
I know it's crazy. And people are like, how do you balance clients, peaking them, coaching them, training, all of that stuff? You just do it. Yeah. And I know that's easier said than done, but when you're passionate about it, it doesn't
when you're
feel
passionate
like
about anything, you will get it done at the end of the day. Yeah. You know where your priorities are, and if it's important to you, you're going to do it regardless of what anyone else thinks or what you have going on. I agree 100%.
Absolutely. So my goal is obviously get back to the Olympia this year. I do have to win 2 shows or be top 25 in points. So I will literally run the circuit until I can't run it no more. I've done it once. I'm not afraid to do it again. 19 shows, like nothing.
Talk to us more about that, because one thing I know about Jodie, just knowing you personally, like you are so resilient. You will not stop. Like I remember seeing her at the bathroom in Elevation, a gym we both train at. She's like, yeah, I'm doing another show this week. And I'm like, how did it go? She's like, I didn't win. I'm doing another show. Like this girl just keeps on going. She will not stop. Like I said, she really is a powerhouse. So talk to me a little bit about your losses and how you've been able to overcome not winning, not being at the top, and then fighting your way to get to the Olympia, the highest level of competing.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when they end up losing, and I don't like to say it is a loss.
Yeah.
Because we all want to get that first place. That's what we all work towards. But if you learn something along the way, you're taking the feedback from the judges to execute upon, you didn't lose. You got the feedback. Now you should get back to the drawing board. You and your coach talk about it, figure out what adjustments need to be made, and then make another run for it. So I always like to look at my physique that I brought to that show from the previous show, or maybe even the previous one before that, or even the year before that. And if I can physically see that I've built more to my physique, I brought a better package, that's a win right there for me. So even though, I'm going to say it was a little sucky last year to get second place after doing about 8 shows at the very last qualifying show and just missing it by 1 point. Yeah, that sucked a little bit, but that didn't stop me. I was like, all right, coach, what's the game plan? Literally the next day I'm back in the gym. I'm working towards that next show. Even though I didn't know when I was going to be starting prep for this year, the improvements start the minute that you step off stage. So
that is so true.
It's not that you go and you're like, screw this. I'm just going to go eat my sorrows away.
Yeah.
Okay, then you're going to wake up the next day. You're going to feel like crap. You're going to probably be up 10, 15 pounds. And then that's going to be a mind F right there.
Yeah.
So you getting right back on track, saying what those improvements are, getting back to work, that's going to keep you going. So always view any loss that you have in life, whether that be, wanting to advance in your career, competing on stage, just anything in general, even a relationship. You didn't lose anything. You only gained something. And now whatever you learn from that, you can take forward to keep improving.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think every loss always comes with a lesson, and what we go through, it depends on, it's all about perspective. It's about how you look at it as well. And also last thing kind of with bodybuilding too, it is such you're being judged off of, just solely the way that you look, standing up next to a lot of other girls who look just as beautiful as you. It's a beauty pageant to some extent, yes. It's not just you're being judged on your body. That's number one, but you're also being judged on how you present yourself, on how you pose, on your hair. I remember one time I competed and they said they didn't like my suit color and I lost, so you're being judged off everything. How do you deal with that comparison? How do you deal with the body image or issues possibly that come along with that, especially based off of your past?
Right. Yeah, no. So I will say in 2022, there was multiple times that I lost because my tan looked mucky. My makeup was too dull. So I have learned from that to know, I come in, I show the makeup artist, this is what I need to look like.
Yeah.
If it's not how I want it, as soon as she's done, I tell her what needs to be fixed. Making sure that I have
playing no games.
I ain't playing no games. Fix
that eyebrow
this shit right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I need some more glaze.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's about hey, I've worked so hard on my physique to get it to where it's at now. If it's going to be something as silly as hair that's going to make me lose, damn right, that's going to be right.
We're going to make sure the hair look flawless. Yeah. So just going from that, I get you. Very, very cool. So, Jodie, you're not only a boss athlete, but you are also a boss businesswoman. I'm telling you, Jodie actually, when I first moved here, helped me a lot with my business, which I really appreciate. And before you started online coaching, you were a UPS driver. She was driving the UPS truck, and now she's going to full-time coaching, being an entrepreneur. I could never imagine you doing that also.
No, nobody
never
does.
imagine
Like,
you. But tell me, like, how do you go from driving a big ass like U-Haul truck around all day to becoming a self-employed, an amazing, a very well-known bodybuilding coach?
Yeah, so I started at UPS basically about my second year into competing. I was like, oh, this is a great career. I started off as a loader in the morning, so shoveling all the packages in the trucks for the drivers.
That's so crazy for you.
Then I went on into being a delivery driver plus an on-road supervisor. I was actually competing the entire time I was still delivering for UPS, plus coaching on the side, plus doing admin work for my team.
Wow.
This was all during COVID. So, I mean, I was working 12, 14, 16-hour days, 7 days a week, not going to lie. I would get up at 3 a.m., go get my workout in. From right there, I went right to UPS, got home about midnight, did it all over again. So, yes, I went from a boss to throwing packages to basically a boss helping others guide and live their passion as well. So, for me, it was all about knowing that UPS was a great career. Not going to lie. Yes, lots of benefits, lots of perks. You get paid great. But for me, it wasn't my passion. You know, you got to wake up every morning and be excited for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And when I wake up, I'm like, literally, I wake up, I wash my face, I do my stretching, and right to my computer I go to see what my check-in or what my clients are up to for their check-ins. So I was waking up, going to UPS. Yeah, it was great, but I was just like, this isn't what I want.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my parents about it, and I'm like, guys, I don't feel fulfilled. This isn't my calling.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, Jay, whatever you want to do, I support you. Mom, on the other hand, was like, you know, you got your 401, you got the benefits, you get paid this, all of that. I'm like, Mom, I understand. But I said, let's look at you for an example. I said, do you wake up every day loving what you do? I said, oh yeah, I know you do. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's what I want to do. And for me, it's serving others. And that's one thing that I do pride myself in. Like, just like Kensley said, you know, she knew my whip. I was like, here, yeah, take it. I barely drive it anyways. You know, so I'm always there wanting to help others. And whatever I have to do to help them see their fullest potential, I will do that. Even if it takes a little bit away from my life.
Yeah.
I'm more about serving others than making me get to the very, very top.
And yeah, no, I think that's amazing. And I have a very similar values to you on that as well. I think a lot of people, especially like being in Miami, you know, it's very flashy and, you know, things are expensive. And, you know, also like everyone wants to have nice things. And a lot of times people think money is like the best thing you can have. Oh, I'm rich, so I'm successful. But to me, being successful is not about how much money do I have. It's about, can I wake up every single day and say, I am passionate about what I'm doing today and I'm going to be, you know, fulfilled. And a lot of that comes by, you know, helping other people, to me.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
Yeah. You know, I mean, you can even look at some of the movie stars. Yeah, they got money up the yin yang. But truly, are they truly happy with where they're at, what they're doing every single day? A lot of them are not. And a lot of them do have an inner soul that's hurting.
Yeah, that's very true. Mm-hmm.
So my recommendation, and I always say, you know, wake up and enjoy what you're doing every single day. Wake up and treat that day as it's your last day here. Because we're not always granted for tomorrow, but if we can live it with energy, passion, and making a life-changing impact on somebody else, including ourselves, it's going to add up.
That is very true. So like for someone who's scared to take a big leap of faith, because you're going from, again, having a steady job, having good money, you know, having these benefits, to going and pursuing your passion coaching, how are you able to kind of trust yourself? And what advice would you give to someone who maybe feels like they're stuck in a similar position? They're in a similar situation. They want to leave this maybe 9 to 5 or this job that they don't like to pursue their passion. What advice do you give to them?
It's always going to be on the back of your mind if you don't do it. So risk can be scary, but if we don't take those risks, we're never going to know. So I would encourage you, take that risk, put the work in, make it happen. It will all come to life and work out in the end. Yeah, at first, there might be troubles. You might dish out a little bit more money than what you're getting in return. But just like you invest in yourself, invest in that business that you want to start, and it's going to pay off.
You have to spend money to make money. That's right. So true. That's one of my biggest mistakes I would say I made as an early entrepreneur was, oh, like I'm trying to like penny pinch, like I'll be okay. But like, no, like sometimes like you have to spend the money and you may not have much more in your bank account, but sometimes you got to go with it. You have to take the risk, high risk, high reward, or you're never going to get anything.
You got to put yourself out there because if you try to stay in your little bubble, you're only going to serve that little circle.
Yeah.
But if you want to serve the world, like Ken said, put the money out there. You're going to get it back. Trust me.
Yeah, very, very true. You have to have that trust within yourself. And sometimes it takes a little bit of delusional confidence, I would say too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just sit there and manifest it every single day. If you see the vision, write that vision down. Okay, what can you do today to build upon it?
Yep.
All right, we did this about that next day and the next day moving forwards.
Yeah.
So if you can see it, you can achieve it. But if you can't fully see it and you're second guessing any move that you make,
that's going to be a problem. Yeah, you're going to be very stuck. I agree. So taking it back to your coaching, being the amazing coach that you are, tell my audience just some general health and wellness tips for maybe someone who doesn't want to be a bodybuilder, but someone who just wants to lead a healthier lifestyle, to gain strength, and to kind of have that mental, not only physical strength, but mental strength that comes with, pursuing health and wellness as well.
Yeah. So I say, wake up every morning, look yourself in the mirror, say some positive affirmations.
Okay.
A lot of times,
wake up in the morning. You are beautiful.
you are a badass.
Exactly.
Let's go. The day.
Okay.
So just a lot of times people don't have that confidence in themselves to really pursue what they want to pursue. Oh, I can't lose 10 pounds. I can't meal prep. I can't do this. So we're saying all of these negative things to ourselves. When if we could just state one positive thing and then reflect on that at the end of the night and say, hey, did I catch myself falling back down that rabbit hole? We're going to improve. Next thing is, wake up after you do your positive affirmations, set the tone for the day. Drink a liter of water with a shot of apple cider vinegar every morning.
That is actually a very good tip. I'm telling you, for digestion, it goes crazy. I'm telling y'all.
And yeah, I'm one of those girls that, I take it right out of the bottle. That's me. A lot of people are like, whoa, too strong. So you can go ahead, dilute with a little bit of water, squeeze some fresh lemon on there, and boom, digestion on fleek. Then pick one day a week where you're going to meal prep. Maybe 2, depending upon how your work schedule is. Bulk prep up 2 different types of protein. Cook your rice. Frozen veggies and fruit are going to be your best friends. They're not going to go old. They're not going to spoil. Have some yogurt in the fridge for quick protein. Granola, oatmeal, and eggs. Boom. Simplicity is key. So we don't need to make these extravagant meals. Keep them simple. Literally. And yes, I know I'm a bodybuilder, but even like my general health clients, we focus on simplicity first. Once they can nail that, we build upon it. And say, okay, hey, now maybe we do a little fancier meals. That way you can enjoy that with, the family and they're not just having what you're having. So start with that. And then pick 3 days a week where you're going to train.
Okay.
They don't need to be 2-hour-long sessions. Get in there, do 5 movements, 3 to 4 reps each, focus on progressive overload, and then set a tone to get 5 days of 8,000 to 10,000 steps in. Going for a 10-minute walk after, 3 of your meals every day. And then at the end of the night, maybe walk with your family or walk with your significant other if you have one and just discuss how your day went. And then from there, repeat it. So it's all about just
rinse and repeat,
building up brick by brick by brick versus feeling like, oh, if I didn't hit my food this one day with just, focusing on protein, that it's the all or nothing mentality.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think those are really good tips. And I agree. I think sometimes people try to overcomplicate things like I need to try this plant-based diet or I need to do this juice cleanse or I need to do this carnivore diet. It's like, no, just eat, clean, healthy protein sources, get in some clean carbohydrates.
Cut and then the processed foods out right there in the sodas. And you're going to notice great improvements just within the first week.
Immediate difference. So I love those health and wellness tips, super applicable. And then also taking it back to the mindset, positive affirmations. That is so relatable. I swear. I'm like coming home from the gym the other day. I was actually coming from a boxing session, I believe. And I'm like, you are a fucking champion. You are amazing. Like, you know, I'm saying it out loud. And I'm like, I probably sound crazy. Like, didn't even notice I was doing it. But I do think, especially if you're someone who maybe doesn't have a big support system, which a lot of people don't have, especially if you're maybe Jodie and I, we're here alone in Miami. You have to sometimes be your own biggest advocate and support yourself. You do. As a female too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all my family's up in Michigan that they support me, but I don't have them by my side. Like if I need something right away, I know I got my real circle by me that I can call them in a jiffy and they can be like, yo, what do you need? I got you.
Yeah.
But, you know, just being yourself and spunky and stating those positive affirmations. Even I know Kent, she's at the stop sign. She's just jamming out. Like,
you gotta have fun. You gotta enjoy it.
Yeah. Too short. Enjoy your vibe. Be you. Don't try to be somebody else or somebody that you think somebody else wants you to be.
Yeah.
Be yourself. It's going to get more attraction. Vibes matter, guys.
And vibes do matter. And I think once you also lose that, I guess for a long time, me personally, I was trying to be so perfect every day. And sometimes you're trying to be something that other people want you to be or see you as. But once you lose that or just like, I don't care what anyone thinks, not in an arrogant way, but in a way that it's like, I'm in alignment. I'm doing what I think I need to be best. Yeah, I'm being myself. It is so freeing. And I think your life truly transforms.
I will fully agree because I mean, even in my eating disorder, going back to that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, if my hair wasn't perfect, I wasn't wearing the perfect outfit. Like people are going to judge me. Now I'm like, you know what? If somebody has something to say about me, come to my face and say it.
It's
like,
fine.
It's not going to hurt my feelings. Like this is me. I'm not going to change for somebody else because I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm strong, and I'm just living my life to the fullest.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So getting away from the mindset for just a second, I'll probably come back to it, but knowing the type of athlete that you are, and Jodie's also a great coach. I see her pushing in the gym, and let me tell you guys, Jodie's workouts, they're extreme. When I look at this woman's legs, I swear they're like walking just pieces of art. Like they're crazy. I'm like over there, like I got my weight on. I try to lift heavy too. I'm like, damn. Like every time I see her, it's insane. You do really well with your training. You're super big on training intensity. I want to know, first off, how important is training intensity? And also just please walk me through one of your leg days.
All right. Training intensity is key. So intensity and intentional reps. If you see me in the gym, I'm not doing 45-pound hip thrust. Like I got 3 plates per side, but it's not me just getting sloppy and thrusting the weight up and down. I'm a huge, huge, huge person for tempo.
Okay.
And my clients know that. I'm sure you've seen it. You're just like,
yeah, of course.
How the hell are you pushing that weight with a 3-second positive, 2-second contraction, 3-second negative, and doing, 10, 12 reps?
Yeah.
Sometimes, obviously, a little bit less. But if we're not engaging with that muscle, it's not going to grow.
Yeah.
So we can push that weight, great. But we're bodybuilders or even lifestyle people, we want to shape your physique, not just get like, hunky mana.
Yeah, you're looking like a Hulk. No. So you got to slow it down, be intentional.
You got to slow it down and be intentional, like feel the muscle being worked, keep your foot planted on the ground, keep your hips leveled, especially for any like kickbacks, RDLs as well. And then think of keeping a neutral spine too. So like when you're squatting, when you're doing a hip thrust, a lot of girls just want to, I call it the scoop method. So they want to think of scooping ice cream. And I'm like, y'all going to kill your lower back. Please keep a neutral spine, keep that core engaged, and you're going to feel a big difference 100%. With your glute engagement. So a typical leg day for me is, I'll start off with a warm up. Right now I've been big into doing some plated reverse hypers with body weight split squat stance. And with that move, I really focus on getting my upper glute med engaged. That's a little bit of a weaker part for me. My my glutes are definitely big, but I just got to keep detailing on it. And I know people probably are like, Jay, you're crazy. You got plenty of glutes. We never got enough glutes. She
does have big glutes, but you're right. As a female, especially, you can never have enough. I agree.
No. So we'll start with that. Usually about two rounds of 15 reps each. Then I'll go into a hip thrust.
Okay.
So I'll usually do fairly heavy hip thrust, 5 sets, 6 to 8 reps.
5 sets. That's a pretty good bit of volume, yes. But the actual repetitions is a lot lower.
Is a lot lower. Okay. Yes. And I do focus on tempo. So all of these, typically I'm focusing on a 3 to 4 second positive, a 1 to 2 second contraction and a
Okay.
3 to 4 second negative. From there, I typically then go into some type of kickback. So lately, actually just the other day, I did straight leg kickbacks within bottom half rep kickbacks. And
Okay.
then I did cable split squats.
Okay, nice. Okay.
So started off with that, did four rounds of that. Then I went in and I did sumos on the pick shark.
Okay, sumo squats.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Yep. And then from there, lying leg curls and then an abduction.
Okay, and that's more glute and hamstring focused leg day.
Yes.
100%.
Yep. Typically about 5 exercises. Sometimes I'll do 6 depending upon how much volume I did for the other ones. But I will say I am one that can do quite a bit of volume plus quite a bit of weight and recover very well as keep growing. Everybody is different. Some people do good with 4 exercises, keeping more moderate weights, moderate reps. Some do a little bit better with volume. So it sort of depends upon what stage of your journey you're in,
Okay.
how much food you're eating, what your goals are, and then structure that training.
Okay, so I'm the same way. That's amazing. You know, I train like an animal as well, but
Yes,
I think you know,
especially throwing the punching bag.
What can I say? You know, I be trying to lift as heavy as I can too, of course. But I think a lot of girls specifically struggle with like, I just can't push myself. I have so many clients telling me, I just can't push myself unless you're with me. I just can't get that much weight on. I can't do it. I can't. That's my least favorite phrase. What would you tell to someone who's like, this is just too heavy? Like, I can't do it. I cannot get myself to the level that I need to be at. Because in order to push that, or in order to see results anyways, you have to push a good amount of weight and you have to train hard. You can't go in there, just lift the weights. Oh, I'm going to do 5 pounds.
Do circuit rounds. Like,
you're not building muscle unless you're working. So how can someone improve on that? It's more mindset to me.
It's more mindset. Yeah. And I say, okay, we keep saying we can't. When are we going to say we can?
Yeah, exactly.
The minute you change your wording with how you speak to yourself and say it, we're not going to know until we try it. So you got to try it, put that weight on there. Okay, if you get 2 reps, that's more than what you got last time.
Yeah.
So now you have that base point and you have that belief in yourself to say, wow, I sort of have been a little bit of I'm going to say a bitch and not pushing that weight. So
I get that. You again, positive affirmations. You tell yourself, you know, when you're slacking. I agree. I mean, you really are full of so much strength, so much determination, so much courage. Tell me what does having courage mean to you? Because to even push yourself in the way that you do in all of these different avenues, whether it's bodybuilding, whether it's entrepreneurship, even being the type of person who is there for somebody, which most people cannot say, it takes a lot of courage. What does it mean to you? What does that word mean?
Courage to me means doing anything that you have on your mind. Don't second guess yourself. Go fully in. And then if you fail, see what you failed on and keep going after it. Don't leave anything of question. Take the courage, take that step, and get after it.
That's awesome. I love that. Okay. And then are there any small daily actions that you take to build courage over time? Things that you know might suck in the moment, but you know this is going to build my courage. This is going to make me more brave.
I will say for me, and I have been working on this, is getting in front of the camera and talking.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yes, and here we are.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at, my Instagram, and I'm like, yo, I just need to get in the camera and just start speaking a little bit more. Just be myself. When I was doing it for a while there, people were like, oh my God, I love seeing you in the camera, talking, going through a training session, going through, a client check-in, all of that. And then I got away from it because I'm like, oh God, do I sound okay on camera?
So you're like kind of doubting yourself. You're like,
now me doing this. Hello, here I am. I'm going to get back to it because I'm going to hold myself accountable. So make sure to follow along and you'll see my face.
Definitely. Yeah, no, you definitely have a lot of, like I said, you got a lot of knowledge to share. So you can't have that from the world. I think with social media, sometimes it's hard to put yourself out there. And me too. Like when I first started this podcast, I didn't have a studio at all. I was like trying to put up a little like bamboo board and like just trying to figure out how to even use a mic. And I'm like, hello, but it's always scary to take the risk and put yourself out there. But at the end of the day, being able to share your words, we all go through things that can really make a difference and really impact other people. So just to get in front of the camera, to talk, to put yourself out there on social media with it being what it is today can make a big difference in someone else's life. Yes.
And I'm going to speak for myself too. Don't fear what other people might be thinking with the post that you made.
Definitely.
Captions are great. Photos are great. But not a lot of times people read all the caption, even if they are very thoughtful.
Yeah.
So if you do a little blurb of just speaking and maybe showing a transformation of yourself or of a client or how you went from this to this, that's going to speak a lot more volume because you're actually speaking to the audience versus them having to read something. You know, people have a wristband of what? Maybe 15 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, and they're
not
scrolling.
Long. Yeah, they automatically want to
move on. So get to the point and make it happen.
100%. I got you. Well, thank you for all of that information. Last thing I want to do with you today, babe, I like to do a segment on my show that's a little bit more fun, a little bit more playful. You guys know we have the courage, but we got to bring the curls as well, you know. So the last segment I want to do, we can't take things too seriously. Life is too short. So I want to do kind of a rapid fire Q&A. So I have 10 questions prepared for you, and I want you to try to answer them in 60 seconds or less. Whatever comes to your mind, the first answer, don't overthink it. Just talk.
Okay. Let's go.
All right. One word to describe your current vibe.
I want to say energy.
Okay, that's perfect. Great. Nah, she got the energy for sure. Favorite cheat meal?
Sushi.
Okay. One thing that instantly makes someone attractive.
Your smile.
Ooh, okay, good answer. If you were not coaching right now, you can't coach, what would you be doing?
Beautician.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Song that you've been loving lately?
I don't say any rap song. Like
who's some of your? Give me a song. Who's one of your favorite artists?
Oh shoot. Don Toliver's new album, E85. Let's go.
Girl, I have been playing that so much. I swear, E85 is a really good one.
It's a vibe, guys.
Yes. Okay, first thing you would do if you won the lottery tomorrow. You're
I'm not rapid firing on this stuff.
No, it's okay. You're good.
I would give, probably a couple $100,000 to each one of my family members, and then I would buy myself a house, buy my dream car, as well as go on a trip to some, I want to say deserted island.
Ooh.
Obviously not a deserted island, but some island where I'm just out of sight, out of mind for like a whole month.
I love that. Okay. And what is your worst personality trait, would you say? Your worst personality trait?
Hiding my emotions.
Okay. I feel you. Favorite pre-workout meal?
I'm basic, a pancake, but it got to be an oatmeal pancake. Oatmeal pancake with some berries on top and almond butter slaps every time.
Okay, I love that. Okay, would you rather have influence or income? Which one matters more?
Ooh, influence, because I'm making an impact on others. The income's going to come with the influence.
That's very true. And then one word to describe your ideal date.
Ooh, it's been a while since we've been on a date, let me tell you.
I feel you. Why is Miami dating so difficult?
Shoot, girl. My ideal date, oh, God. Literally just low-key. I'm a very low-key person. Like, it doesn't need to be some fancy restaurant, fancy meal, anything like that.
She just trying to chill at the crib.
Yeah, literally, I'm fine with just chilling at the crib. Like, just make it authentic. I don't want you to try to force something that you are not. Be you, because I'm going to be you right back with me.
Yes, I love that. Okay, I feel you. Well, thank you so much, Jodie. Thank you for coming on the show today. My show is all about inspiring others and leading by example, and all about just sharing passion with the world. So that's exactly what you have. You live so boldly. You live a very authentic life. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode just as much as I did. Where can my listeners find you if they want to work with you, connect with you more, maybe find you online?
Well, give me a follow at JodieJFit_IFBB Pro on Instagram. I am a coach with Team Ludacris, so you can go ahead and click my link tree, fill out an application, and we can connect.
Perfect. Also, you guys, please do me a solid and follow me on Instagram at @YoIt'sKenslow or the podcast at Curls and Courage Podcast to connect more, to learn more about me, learn more about the show and what you'd like to do next. If you want to work with me as well, I offer one-on-one coaching too. Email me at kensleymeeksfit@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this episode, also please like and subscribe to the channel. Share the episode with a friend. Follow Curls and Courage wherever you're listening now. Show it some love. You already know the vibes, Again, let me know who y'all want to see next, and check out the podcast on the radio every Thursday on WDJY 99.1 FM, okay? I appreciate y'all. Keep showing up. Keep living boldly. And I really pray that we can all have legs like you one day, Jodie.
All right, let's get it. We will.
Anything else you want to say with the audience?
No, guys, thanks so much for giving it a listen. Ken's is a sweetheart. She's literally changing the entire industry. So give her a round of applause.
That's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you guys next week. Thank you. Bye. Appreciate y'all. Bye.